Hey there, how y'all doing? This is Data coming back at you again from the Appalachian Trail. I'm at the Long Mountain Wayside and I'm getting ready to head up this direction. I got about between 6 and 10 miles to do today, and I'm going to start off with about a 3-mile hike and 2,500 or more feet of ascent. The weather's beautiful. It's already warming up a little bit. I got at least a day and a half of good weather, and I'm off on the next 5-day stretch on this particular set of section hikes for myself. So hope you're all having a good morning. See you around. So I did want to give a special shout out this morning to Jim and I, who I met online, but who actually we crossed paths right here last fall as she was completing her this section of her hike. And I think Jim and I might be done by now. I'm not sure, but if you get this video, I hope you're doing well, Jim and I. And I've been following you as much as I could on Ramdino's channel, but anyway. Well, 1 mile in and 1 hour in, and I've climbed about 700 feet of elevation. I got about 1,400 more feet to go. So this climb northbound out of the Long Mountain Wayside is no joke. So about 3 hours into the day and about 3 miles into the hike, I am summiting Bald Knob. It was a almost 3-mile hike and 2,800 feet of ascending. And I gotta say, this was one heck of a climb here. It's not straight up, but it's 500 to 700 feet of ascent rate per mile all the way up this mountain. So when you start out from Long Mountain Wayside on this hike, be ready. It's 2 or 3 hours of climbing. Now that I'm up on Bald Knob, or about to it, I'm going to be on a ridge line just up and down a little bit for the next several hours. Since I'm about 3 hours into my day, I think up here someplace there's supposed to be a campsite. So I think I'm going to stop and have a pack-off break. So I'm at the campsite up on Bald Knob, and I took a little pack-off break for 10 minutes or so after that long climb. And I got another 3.6 miles until I get to the next main water source, but it's kind of up and down. It's not so much climbing, it's more of an even terrain. So give myself another 3 hours or so to make that. I want to be there. It's one of those nice things about hiking in our very early March is there no leaves on the trees. I mean, I get really nice views. So this is the panoramic view from up on top of Cove Mountain, which has a really nice grassy bald on it. And there's a fire pit off in the distance there, and multiple camping sites. And if it were toward the end of my day, I would be pitching a tent here because this is just gorgeous. Views in every direction. I bet both sunrise and sunset up here are just magnificent. So that's one of those examples of how the Appalachian Trail can change the kind of a trail it is from 1 mile to the next. After dragging my fanny up that mountain all the way to Cove Mountain, I had a pretty steep climb for most of the first 4.5 miles of the day. Cove Mountain was mile 5. As soon as I summited it, a big wide grassy path opened up. And now I got a couple of miles of this where even when I'm climbing uphill, the path is 6 feet wide, mowed, or worn down at least and grassy, and it's a very nice change in my hiking experience here in the last mile before lunch. Well, I made it to Hog Camp Gap, and there's a water source about a tenth of a mile, half a mile actually, called Wiggins Spring. That's where I'm headed now to get some more water. And then after that, my next stop would be that Salt Log Gap, where that might be where I spend the night. It might not. It is. So I have 2 or 3 places I could camp. Toward the end of the day, I just decided I would hike until I had about an hour and a half of daylight left, and then pitch camp at one of those campsites. Well, I found the spring, and it's running pretty well for the beginning of March. So I'm going to have a little pack off, shoes off break for about a half an hour. I'm going to sit down and have some food and bask in the lovely sounds of this spring, which feeds this creek. Boy, so yeah. And I even got a bunch of different rocks positioned so that you can stand on them and lean over and just... I filled up a 3-liter Sea-Knock in, I don't know, less than a minute. So, well, that was a nice half an hour long pack off, shoes off lunch break. And I'm gonna throw the pack on, and the next destination is about 4 miles out. There's a campsite, Lovingston, I think it's called, or Lovington, and there's a water source there and a couple of campsites. So I think that's where I'm going to call it a night. Here's a real Appalachian Trail treat for you. After spending a whole day hiking uphill through a deciduous forest full of hardwoods with nary a leaf to be found anywhere, my last mile, and really the mile before this, has been spent mostly in a little green tunnel with mountain laurels. And it seems odd for March 6th, but you know, I'll take it over that snow from early last week, that's for sure. Anyway, I'll see y'all from camp. Well, the Durston is pitched and dinner has been made, and the Ursack is hung up in the tree over there, and getting ready to get into camp clothes. And tonight I'm not only hiking on the Appalachian Trail today, but I'm camping right on the Appalachian Trail, because here is my Durston, and you might even see off in the distance there is a white blaze in that pine tree. The trail is literally right here. So it's a little impromptu campsite, but it's established. There's one here. This campsite is about 2/10 past the Lovingston Campsites, and about a 1/10 before you get to the spring that's listed on Far Out. And there were some others actually along the way that I could have picked, but this got me as far north as I could tonight. So I ended up going 10.3 today to this side. I only went 10 today because I didn't get to trail until 8 o'clock. Tomorrow I'll try to get up and out of here really early, since I know there's rain coming. Tomorrow's a big day. Tomorrow I hike to the priest and confess my trail sins, of which there are a couple. Not horrible things, but still things I'll have to put in the book. And then after that, the day after that, I go to Three Ridges, which is a really beautiful site I've been looking forward to seeing for a while. So with that, this is Data signing off for the day. Hope y'all had a good day too.